Hello and welcome back to episode 12. Today I am confined in my meditation island because I am AFKing my farm down below for some gunpowder. We're going to be using our gunpowder for a few different things today. Today's episode is largely going to be focused on upgrades. We're going to get a lot of things done and a lot of things upgraded. So let's go. And with all this, we're gonna go blow stuff up. Okay, and now with that, I have all of my materials for our first project. Something that's been bugging me a little bit is I have this cool cave entrance with our portal, but I moved it on top of the nether roof, so I keep coming out on this side. So we're gonna have a quick building for our nether portals. It's gonna go over there now, but then in the nether, we're gonna use all of these to get breaking some bedrock. So cue the time lapses. I have just wrapped up with the build, but let's go to sleep real quick. There are monsters nearby. It just became dark enough. Oh, looks like I got the egg gang. Holy cow! Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 of these guys. Okay. Looks like I got a few eggs and a secondary horse in this. Okay. Holy smokes. But I just wrapped up with the build. I'll go show you as soon as it's daytime. And you'll remember that most of my builds I always tend to put a bed in. But of course this build is for the nether, so we can't put a bed in it. So there it is from a distance. I built it so it's designed that you fly in the top because obviously the nether's underneath. And there we go. We've got little biomes for each of the different or little rooms for each of the different biomes in the nether. And we've got large storage areas for everything that you might need or get from that biome. Basalt and blackstone, the crimson or warped forests and the wood types, soul sand, and then obviously the nether wastes as well. So now we're going to go through all my materials that I had left over for this build and then go get everything from my main storage silo and bring them over here. So now I gotta do a quick organization, then we'll move on to our next project. Now I'm wrapping up right now with one of my most recent updates. It's nighttime and I have the a mini HUD overlay that shows me the light levels. I'll turn that off. But now it's nighttime and you can see it's practically bright everywhere you go. I was hiding frog lights from my frog light farm I built last episode underneath these moss carpets, and they let the moss spill over and they let the light come out. So I've been doing that and now nothing really spawns. Oh, I must have missed a spot. Nothing really spawns nearby. So I've essentially put everything around my city in peaceful mode. All right, to kind of demonstrate a little bit more what I was doing there, it is now nighttime. And if I walk around, I used to be worried about my villagers dying to zombies or creepers sneaking up on me as I walked back and forth between my builds. But now everything is lit up pretty well. And the big reason why I wanted to do this was because over here at this farm, this is my gunpowder farm, which I need for our next improvement. It was not very effective during the nighttime because mobs would all spawn down here, and that would stop my farm from running. So if we now go up to the AFK platform, we can hang out. And then I'm going to turn on hitboxes here with F3 and B So that way we can see we've still got some mobs spawning up on the mountain over there. We've got a passive pig. We've got our pillagers down here. And then just a few drowned spawning in the water. And that's something I didn't know how to fix because I couldn't find a way of doing it without being ugly. So if you want to let me know down in the comments how you think I should fix that, let me know. But that's going to help our efficiency run a whole lot more. Maybe I'll go light up that side of the mountain, definitely up top there. But now if we wait for the spawning cycle to happen on this farm, we'll see if we get a bunch more. Because it used to stop during the nighttime. I wouldn't get any creepers spawning. So my efficiency just tanked. So let's see. The water's pushing them down now. Uh-oh. It might not have been as efficient as I wanted it to. We need to go light up that side of the mountain. So I'll go do that and we'll try this test one more time. The sun is finally beginning to set. I have my spawning sphere in here to see exactly where on that mountain I need to spawn proof, and that took a whole lot longer than I thought it was going to. But let's see if it's worth it now if we just doubled the rates on our gunpowder farm. So let's go ahead and hop in here. I'm not going to turn off the sphere just yet, but for reference, I'll turn back on the light levels. So these squares are where mobs can spawn, and all the numbers signify what the light level is. So I missed one little space right over here, it looks like. But everywhere else, I have lit up to some degree. This would have taken ages and ages before the lighting changes. But there we go. Everything is set up, I think. Oh, I missed a little bit there. So we've got there and up there to go fix. But let's turn that off. And let's see. We got one creeper in a little 1x1 hole back here. Okay. Let's see if we get any spawns. Okay, we're getting some creeper spawns. So there's just, it looks like a handful of spots we need to fix. But besides that, it's working at least a little bit during the nighttime. So I'm gonna go fix up those spots. I'm probably still going to sleep just because the rates are gonna be a little bit better because it's not perfect like we just saw. And then we'll finally get back into the Nether to start doing some improvements there. Okay, I know it looks like I'm trying to summon Herobrine, but I promise I'm not. Also, my replay mod isn't gonna work for this one because it involves lagging out the game. But I'm gonna do it and I'm gonna try to explain what's going on to the best of my knowledge. So the reason that this system works with the explosions, or in this case, we're going to be budding these pistons. So if I go like this, and then I break all of these source blocks, these pistons are going to be in a budded state. So if you look, there's no redstone going to them, but they're powered on. So the way that this works is when a piston is extended and it's budded, and you break the power source, there's a slight delay in between when the piston needs to break and when the arm breaks and when the piston breaks. So what we're trying to do is explode the power source and then explode the piston. And in that same moment where the piston arm hasn't broken, but the piston block has, we're trying to reset it with the game data. Now, I might not be explaining this the best way, but what's happening with this is that the piston has the arm extended, so therefore the piston's block is saying, I have an arm attached to me, and where it's at right now, it thinks the arm is in front of it. But when you replace the block to be put facing down, it then moves the arm from the side to be facing down. So let me go ahead, this one, I'm going to lag out my game, okay? And now I'm gonna come over here really quickly, instant mine my pistons, and put them all facing down. So again, right now the piston block is broken, but the arm it thinks is still extended. So we replaced them facing down, and therefore Minecraft is saying, okay, I'm gonna be pushing this piston arm, I'm gonna fix it so it's facing down. It looks like this one didn't work. So this may have been patched, but I'm gonna go ahead and give it a few more tries and see if this works, because if it does, it's gonna be a lot quicker method of breaking bedrock. So I've plotted out, I'm plotting out exactly where I want this hole to be, and I'm kind of following this natural hole that's underneath the bedrock here. Unfortunately, my nether portal where I come in and out is right here. It's gonna be right on the edge of this. So what I think I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take this and just build a little temporary island up in the sky. And that's gonna be where my nether portal is gonna be for right now. And we'll build something cutesy around it or something cool, but first let's get it moved. I've done a lot of trial and error, and I've gone back and reread the comments a lot because I was having very mixed success with it. So let me share with you a few tips if you want to break bedrock. So let's get technical with Whodinni. So for starters, your little lag switch, it needs to be completely within one chunk. So on this one, I've got it completely just fitting in with a single chunk. That's the first thing that's very important. The second thing that's important is that you need to be able to break pistons with one click. So this is the method that I've been doing. I'll put a block behind them, a block on top, and then I'll put redstone torches on all of these on the backside. So now I'm gonna go lag it out, and then I'll show you the few other tricks I do. So I lag it. Now you need to break the power source and then the piston, but the piston needs to be broke in one punch. Just like that. If you hold it to mine it, it will take a little bit longer to mine. So make sure that you don't hold and mine, you're just clicking it. And then those pistons need to be facing down. So again, you'll lag it out, break the torch, then the piston, and then you can break the blocks to get to them, and then you need to replace it. Also, you need to be careful not to break the extended head. I'll show you why I think I messed up. Oh no, we got all of those. I'll show you why again here with another example. Let's do this side. We'll set up our pistons, blocks on top, and then our torches on the back. So let's just do an example here on the back of things that don't work. So I've got this set up. Okay, we're good to go. I'm gonna lag it out. Now it's lagged, and again, power block, power block, power block, power block, go all the way down, and then you can break these and then put in your pistons. If you break like the piston and then a block, it won't work. Or if you break the block and then its head, it won't work. Or if you take time to mine it, it won't work. But let's, whoops. Well, now these really aren't gonna work, but we'll get everything into place. Oh, there it goes. So yeah, none of those worked, but everything here did. So those are some of the tricks that I've learned that have helped me so far with making sure everything works out okay. If you're having any issues, I'll link again that video, or you can come back to this one, leave it in the comments, and we can try and troubleshoot it a little bit. But the pistons with TNT works a lot better, but you're a little more dangerous, and you have to use TNT with every single one. So now I'm going to go through until I'll check back once we get to the next layer. I figured it's about time to check in. And this looks kind of just like a failed redstone contraption. I've got weird pistons in weird places. Extended. But we've gotten down the first layer in the perfect circle, and we're getting down to the second layer. So let's give this one a go and see how many we can get completed. Boom, 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 boom. Power source piston. Careful not to break the piston arm. And then get those pistons facing down. Oh, there we go. Caught up. And just like that, we removed a bunch of bedrock. This is another check-in. We're now successfully 2 layers deep. I did a little bit of clearing out on this one, but I'm guessing, oh, I got unlucky. Some of these are gonna start getting close to being able to break all the way through. So I'm gonna keep clearing. I'll check in more and more as I get closer and closer. That layer took even less time to do. And look, we already have so much broken out of the way already. There's not much left. So this next layer will be almost done. And then we just have some holes to dig like normal Minecraft. So we're almost there. We're almost there. I can feel it. Turns out that last layer was not quite as easy as I had planned. But I've got just a few. I'm going to try and do a quick camera edit to show me breaking through all the rest of these. And we're home clear. That's 5 layers. Finishing out the last blocks. There we go. Holy cow, that feels weird to do. I've done it. I need to remove my cobblestone ring, but holy smokes. Now I can fly over and come on up through this giant tunnel. Man, it even takes 2 firework rockets to get up there. That's cool. Also, as you can see, my pickaxes desperately need some love. They are about ready to break, so I might be doing a little farm here to get some more XP. I'll probably go trade with my villagers, to be honest, first, but I also have an idea to decorate the sides, and I don't know if I want to, if I want to just leave it as it is. For right now, I'm going to leave it, go get some trading up, and we'll move on to the next update, but we might update it in the future. There we go, big old bedrock hole. Let's go. I'm down here. I just mined down my giant ladder. It looks so cool. I've never done something like this before on a huge scale like this. It looks so cool. So when I'm like coming back from the Wither farm, I'm like, oh yeah, time to go home. Ah, it's so cool. The only problem is I had to move my portal up here, kind of like I showed, because, well, now there's no bedrock where my portal was. But it's so cool. Now for our next upgrade, we're going to need a few of these. I did learn from my last episode that we do have a few extras. So I'm going to take a few of these along with some of the information from the Nether. But we also have these blocks of iron because we're going to some distant lands to not only farm wither roses is what we're going to be working for, but we're also going to get some obsidian while we're there. So we're going to head over here and grab some soul sand because we're going to need that. And then we get to head to a distant land to gather another resource, some snow. So let's go. Oh, I actually think it's this way. Well, I have flown now hundreds of blocks away from my base, and actually right over this hilltop is one of those cool spruce villages. And I found down here this really cool ravine that I'm sure goes down to bedrock. Gosh, this is just what I love about new Minecraft. There's so much to do. I could explore the new terrain for hours and hours, or go build up that village, or build farms, or lots of different things. But for right now, I'm here for some snow. So we're gonna grab this snow to make a snow farm, and then we're gonna use this, take it to the Nether, and use it for a wither farm. We're gonna kind of get 2 farms out of 1 here. But in order to build this wither farm, I do need quite a bit of snow up front. So I've actually gone ahead and built a snow farm, and I figured where it's a better place to do this farm than at my cozy little cabin here, because I actually got the snow for this farm in a spruce forest. So I've gone ahead and made this little ice shack over here is kind of what I'm thinking of making it. Let's fix that really quickly. But it's a pretty simple premise. The snow golems are up here on a half slab, so you can mine all of the snow without breaking them or hurting them, and you just kind of spam the shovel here away, and some of it will get caught in the back over here, but I've gone ahead and put some hoppers underneath it so that way it'll pick it all up. So if we just sit here and spam for a second, let's see how much we can get. So even if I'm just here, I'll collect most of it, but that's why I put a hopper for those ones in the back. So we've got a bunch here. Let's get a quick crafting table so we can just make our snow blocks. Look at that, we've already got a full row there. And that turns into almost a full stack of blocks in just the 10 or 20 seconds I've been here. Now that I have everything that I'll need for my next upgrade, we're gonna head over and down into my new Nether portal, and we're gonna build this wither farm. So I have all the materials here in the shulker box. I'll link a tutorial for the video that I am following, so you can watch that down in the description if you guys do want to follow along. But this is all the materials that you'll need. You need a beacon if you want to run it for sustain so you won't ever die. But that one's kind of optional, and there's my cool hole. But we need to head over to the end, which is my portal over this way. And now that we're in the Nether, the first part of this farm is really cool. You get to trap the wither under the bedrock. I used to do this all the time with my friends over on the zoo server, but you build this little cross here on the bottom, which you have to get perfectly in the center of the Nether roof. So you can see here I've mined it out to all the corners and then build myself a staircase up top.
And then this center block of the T right here is actually at 0, 0. So it's like where the tail of the wither is going to be is directly underneath that portal, which in coordinates here would be 0, 0. But for not, if you don't have access to coords, then you just find the dead center of this area. Now, again, like I said, I'll put the description in the tutorial. For this top dispenser has pumpkins. You're going to need 2 blocks of snow to have in your inventory and a stack of pumpkins. I'm going to go ahead and spawn the wither in this bottom side. Now I'm going to get away because that initial blast is really big and it's going to get a little bit noisy here. So prepare yourself for that. Then once you have the wither going, you'll need to turn on and off really quickly this lever so that way it'll begin pulsing to both dispensers. If you need to turn it off, you can just lock it like that. So we're going to flick that switch on. I'm going to come over here so it's a little bit quieter, but you'll flick that on and then start placing your snow blocks. And you can actually nestle yourself in the corner and look right here. And you place both snow blocks. A pumpkin will get placed on the top, and as the snowman falls, its pumpkin head will get shooed like that. You're going to do this for both stacks of snow, so you get a total of 64 snowmen. So now that I've gone through all of the 2 blocks, we're coming over here because it's a little bit quieter. You're just going to go in and collect all of the wither roses and free snow that you're going to be gathering from these snowmen that are dying from the withers and explosive force. I've gone ahead and muted this next clip just because it is so loud with everything going, but I like to switch out this block for a crafting table so you can craft the snow blocks into snow and then build a chest to put up here in this top section, so you can empty out your entire inventory. Now, the trick of this is if you empty all of your inventory except for the 2 spaces for your snow blocks, obviously for your pumpkins, and then a food source, you'll have just enough area to come down in here, pick up all of the wither roses that you have for that first section or 2 sections, and then if you bring that back up, all of the snowballs that you've created, if you craft them into snow blocks, I'll do that here.
I've been running the farm now for a little bit. I turned off my block sounds and my aggressive mobs, so that way I don't hear the wither anymore. But as you can see, the snow golems make a lot of snow. The wither goes ahead and breaks those blocks, so I get a ton of snowballs and a ton of wither roses. I'd probably run this now for about 30 minutes or so. Got a ton of wither roses and a lot of extra snow. So I think I have enough for my next few projects, which means my absolute next project is to get a beacon. And so we're gonna do that now. So now that we've cleaned out our inventory, we'll just take a few swipes here. I guess, oh, I knocked him too low, so he's not gonna be able to kill these snow golems. Oh well, that's 2 wither roses I wasn't able to pick up. And, oh my goodness. Almost there. There we go. Oh no, I dropped a shulker. All right, let's put you right in here. And let's try and convert these guys really quickly. Well, let's just come back here and make some snow really quick. But now that we've got this nether star, we can go ahead and craft ourselves that beacon and begin getting some of this obsidian. So, I'm gonna go mine some obsidian. Did a quick little mining session here, mining out all the obsidian. It's about 30 minutes of mining to get me that far, even with this beacon. But now we have enough obsidian to jump back into the overworld and go start on our next project. Woohoo! There is the portal in all of its new glory. I may have farmed a little bit too much obsidian over in the end, but that's totally fine. I'll go store that. But I also added a safety feature and put a wall of water with some stairs underneath it. So that way I can fly into it as fast as I want and not smack my head. But now when I come out of my floating island here in the Nether, I can jump straight into my giant hole that I now have and can fly over to my... Ooh, hi. I can fly over to the Nether fortress that's over here, and then when I'm done, I can fly back and don't have to take the ladders anymore. I just need to not run out of rockets, because if I do, I'll have to walk all the way over to the end there and get back in that way. But there we go. Plus, now if I like fly and I hit this, oh no, so bad, I can put myself out quickly. Because it's cooler that way. So that's my next project. We're going to jump on to the next one. So I know I've built a lot around the Nether, but before I can start that project there, I need honey. So this project here is all going to be for a quick honey farm. I don't have any idea for the island, so I brought enough blocks to figure it out, but I do have the building materials for the actual structure that itself. So bear with me, but we're going to jump into another time lapse and try and get this all figured out. Okay, I finished the island. It was a little bit of a longer time lapse. Let's take a quick look at it from the sky. So it nestles kind of underneath my highest island, and then there's the smallest one. So it's kind of sat up here with all the other four, and it's just big enough to hold this building on top of. You'll actually notice in the video I like paused at several points to move and see how big I needed the bottom structure, because I only had the building. This was all just free-handed with it in survival mode. So it's a little tight on some of the edges, and then my recording didn't work super great. I kept forgetting to hit the resume recording when I came back and built, so that's why it skipped a little bit. But let's come into the inside here. It's nighttime, so all of the bees will be going to bed here. I have a few extra beehives. I've moved my villagers up here as well. So this is going to be a potato and carrot farm and everything honey.
So it's just a really simple design here. I can put bottles and shears up in the top. Whoops, let's fix that. And then they'll get sheared. I've got hoppers underneath. Now, I don't know why these guys are trying to get in the way. Let's see. But this is supposed to let me go inside. Oh, well, he got inside too. Come in here. So that way, if some of the things, sometimes with honey farms, I've had bad luck where they fill up and they kind of lock. So if I need to come replace the redstone so it shears, I can do that. And then where this bee is going is where we're gonna head to as well. I built this farm inside of the island, and this is just a fully automated, similar to up top, but this one's way more. And I've already got plenty of honey farming from just the build time alone. So I've got plenty of honey now, which was one of the things I needed to do. I did a slime farm last episode. Some of you may know kind of what I am planning on doing here, especially with the Nether upgrades. But that's it for this upgrade. And now look at this. Now that it's daytime, I have so many bees. And also a fun fact about bees. When the bees pollinate, the crops actually grow faster, so I can get even more crops to grow. And the bees will go over to pollinate to those flowers and come back to the beehives, so it's actually super efficient for everything. So, my next upgrade, honey blocks, are done. And actually, that is where I'm going to go ahead and end today's episode. This one took quite a long time to get out. I found a bunch of fun new games to play, and I've been playing a bunch of other different games at this time. And so that could possibly be coming in the future, but for now, I'm excited to play some more Minecraft, get back into the swing of things. I mean, I have this gorgeous world with all these fun builds that I have, and way more plans to expand into the future. So that's gonna do it for today's episode. Thank you for watching, and we'll catch ya on the next episode of Who's Who. Bye. Okay, and lever, and we get underneath. Let's make sure I eat so I don't die really quick. And then we just replace the piston. Pull the lever, and no!